Get ready with me, your Finance Minister Nicola Willis, as I prepare for another day of running New Zealand's economy into the ground and trashing the environment. First, I take a daily piss on the poor by slapping welfare sanctions on the most vulnerable Kiwis. Then I wash my hands of the cost of living crisis and the climate crisis before wiping away my responsibility to honour Te Treaty of Waitangi. Next, I try and cover up the fact that I've slashed almost all essential services and I've still borrowed $13 billion more than I promised because I have to fund my massive tax cuts to billionaires, big tobacco and big oil. It's hard to fully cover up this shit show, so I try to distract New Zealanders by sharing Shane Jones's latest unhinged TikTok. Then I brush over the fact that I am doing exactly nothing about the profiteering power companies and supermarkets ripping New Zealanders off daily. I try to paint myself and my party as fiscally responsible, but we're actually forecast to rack up more national debt in 5 years than Labour did in 6, all the while fast-tracking a war on nature so that foreign mining giants can siphon billions of New Zealand dollars offshore. Finally, I apply a little alliteration to the cost of living crisis by calling anyone who points out my economic mismanagement a merchant of misery. Then it's butter like cheese on toast for me, easy to afford after my 10% pay rise. I did only offer teachers a 1% pay rise and I slashed pay equity for women, but who needs fairness when you can have internalised misogyny and political greed instead? Sure, Fonterra trashed the country's fresh water to make this overpriced butter, but swimming in rivers is for povos without private pools, so what do I care? Time to pull myself up by my bootstraps. And by that I mean be born into wealth, have a rich daddy who's a lawyer for big oil, and then give his industry a big fat tax cut. Don't worry, it's not technically corruption. Chris Bishop signed off on that one instead of me. Okay, New Zealand, have a great week out there. And when it comes to paying your exorbitant bills, just remember this government works for the polluters and the profiteering corporations, not for you. Thanks so much for the pay rise, by the way.